The two sisters got married at the same time. Jessica married Benjamin and became a wealthy lady. Alice, however, married a waiter named Mike. And Alice wasn't dissatisfied at all. It turned out that in their previous life Jessica married a CEO. But, unexpectedly, the CEO became addicted to gambling. He even sold Jessica to someone else, who knew that after Alice married the bankrupt Benjamin, his company actually became more and more profitable. In the end, it was Alice who saved Jessica. But Jessica envied Alice's life. So she dragged Alice to be reborn together. They both returned to the day before the wedding. Jessica threatened her father and stepmother with her life. They must let her marry Benjamin. Unexpectedly, Alice agreed right away. It turned out that in the previous life all the investments were made because of Alice. Alice was worrying about how to get rid of Benjamin, and Jessica had just provided her with a perfect chance. Alice told her father and stepmother she was willing to switch with Jessica, but her mother's inherited villa must be given to her as dowry. The stepmother had no choice but to agree. But before the wedding even began, they found the rich man upstairs on a date with his mistress. In panic, Jessica bumped into Mike. Alice handed him a handkerchief, which made Mike interested in Alice. He followed her to the room door, but heard Alice already canceling the engagement. The stepmother was saying she would take back the villa, but Alice said she only wanted to replace the groom with Mike, then quietly asked Mike to help her act. The rich man mocked. Alice didn't even put effort into choosing an actor. To repay the handkerchief, Mike directly kissed her to prove he was willing to marry Alice. Seeing this, everyone was speechless, and had to agree to their wedding. Alice was extremely satisfied. Even if Mike used a soda can as a ring, she was still very happy. Jessica thought she had won over Alice. Little did she know those mistresses were hired by Alice. Alice swore she would never let anyone tie her down in this life. The next day, after Alice and Mike got their marriage certificate, she handed Mike $5 million to have him continue cooperating for 3 months. At that moment Benjamin arrived with Jessica and mocked. Alice was only worthy of marrying a waiter. Jessica provoked. She was about to attend a billiards match with Benjamin. Alice remembered that in the previous life, she secured investment for Benjamin at this match. So she said she and Mike would also join. But when Jessica saw them actually show up, she couldn't help mocking. Alice probably didn't even know the rules. But Alice wasn't afraid at all. Seeing this, Benjamin proposed a match with Alice. Whoever lost must shout, "I am useless." Alice agreed immediately. But halfway through the game, Alice still couldn't beat Benjamin. But Mike held Alice and made the winning shot, then directly won the entire match. The investor wanted Mike to teach him billiards, so he signed a deal with Alice. Jessica warned Alice she would make her father cut Alice's allowance. Alice didn't care at all. People whispered Benjamin still hadn't fulfilled the bet. Benjamin had no choice but to shout, "I am useless," then ran out angrily. On the way back she questioned Mike about who he really was. Mike tried to distract her with his looks, but Alice wasn't moved at all. Mike took out a black card, saying this was his investment for Alice. Alice immediately tried to throw it away. Mike had to promise he'd tell her in a week. The next day Alice told her father she was willing to share investments with him, but her mother's design company must stay with her. It turned out her mother had promised when she was young that the company would belong to Alice, and now Alice was only claiming her mother's justice. Hearing this, Jessica yelled. Father already said it would be hers. But Alice pulled out records of Jessica and the stepmother embezzling funds. Yet the father still favored Jessica. He said whoever won the design competition would get the company. Alice remembered the judges would attend the richest family's party tomorrow night, but she couldn't get an invitation. Unexpectedly, Mike brought her one. Alice didn't have time to think. She rushed to the party, only to run into Benjamin and Jessica, as they mocked her for having no dance partner. Mike stepped out of a luxury car. Alice then noticed Mike was wearing the richest family's watch. But Alice thought Mike was just a relative of the richest man. After the party began, Benjamin mocked why Mike wasn't serving dishes today. Mike responded that professions shouldn't be ranked. But a guest suddenly said the richest man had the same name as Mike. But Benjamin said, how could the richest man be a waiter? Jessica added, the richest man couldn't possibly like Alice. At that moment the judge appeared. Jessica hurried to greet him, but the judge came straight to ask Mike about his health. Jessica couldn't help reminding the judge that Mike was just a waiter, but the judge told her to shut up, saying how could he possibly mistake the richest man? Alice was instantly stunned, whether she was satisfied with who he really was.